Welcome to SDH's coverage of everything going on in USL League One. We'll go over what happened last week of the regular season, who's in and who's playing where. We'll go over all of that activity. Golden Boot has been named. Postseason awards are starting to be handed out across the board for USL League One. Once again, the competition in USL League One, very, very strong across the board, once again here in 2023. So let's go back over the final 7 days and get you ready for the first round of the playoffs. Everybody played on Saturday. All 12 teams ready to go to determine a winner. Early fireworks at City Stadium. Central Valley wins a 5-4 crazy game with hosting they were being hosted by the Richmond Kickers in just over 4,000 with Amin Hadzic in the middle. It was 6 goals in the first 46 minutes, actually. It was 1-0 Kickers, 2-0 Kickers, 2-1, 2-2, 3-2, as Nils Vinyals scores on a penalty at 45, and that was the score at the break, 3-2 to Richmond. Then Central Valley came back with a goal in the 46th, then goals in the 70th and the 86th, and you ended up also with an OG in the 84th as a part of all of this. Just absolute craziness across the board. It was an own goal on each side, 9 goals by the time they were done, and it was 5-4 Central Valley over Richmond, with 2 teams that were outside the playoffs trying to figure out who could get full points the last match of the regular season. South Georgia Tormented needed a win, and they needed some help. They needed a result at Breeze Stevens that was worse than what they could do. They needed the win. They needed Forward Madison to either draw or lose against Union Omaha. Here's what South Georgia did. Their last match of the regular season at American Legion against the Charlotte Independents. Here's your highlights, courtesy of our friends at USL League One, ESPN Plus, and YouTube.
Get loud! Come on, you Jacks!
Third meeting of the regular season between these sides as we are underway from American Legion Memorial Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Tormentas last year's defending champs here in USL League One, taking down the Chattanooga Red Wolves by a score of 2-1. Keziah Sterling with the goal. Now game is this one's going to be stopped by Pack and then cleared away by Spielman. The group has been great at organizing the back and really has worked hard this season to strengthen his game. There's that look and that shot attempt. Ibarra. Chance here, and just over the crossbar. Both teams not afraid to tee it up tonight. Dean Killian, his 23rd start of the season. Last year with the Pittsburgh River Hounds here in USL Championship. Sis. Back post, chance and Bouillou nods it down, but into the side of the webbing. To the back post. Look at Omar Sis creating the space, getting around Corey. Goes backside and there is the whistle to signal the end of the first 45 minutes of play. And after 45 minutes, Charlotte Independence 0, South Georgia Tormenta 0. Amo. Tug of the waist right there from Tormenta. If you're traveling to Charlotte to see an Independence game, make sure you stay at the Hyatt Place downtown. The Hyatt Place is just minutes. Johnson out wide. Alvarez. Into the box. Bouillou in line. And that takes a deflection and goes in for an own goal. Well, Tracer and Bouillou, he's done a little bit of everything. And while he hits off a defender of Tormenta, you gotta hand it to Tracer and Bouillou with all he's done. See Mbuyu here doing the work, and then it looks like it hits off Kilwine there in front. We somehow able to keep that in play. Omar Sis was sitting there at the top of the 6-yard box. Mason going right at Joel Johnson. Murphy. Mason. Back post, headed down, and that one somehow sneaks through for an equalizer. What a moment there for Tormenta, getting on the scoreboard here in the 62nd minute. Nice ball over here by Mason. Corey just on that back post, able to elevate up and over Flanagan for the goal. Tormenta, though, they need a win to move on. And also needs a loss or a draw from Forward Madison. Ajay. Back post once again. Tipped on, but off target. Great ball in by Ajay, but tipped wide. As Corey once again on the back post. Got himself in. Collie trying to squeeze through two defenders. Fonseca. Scoop pass. Collie able to get a piece of it. Spielman, though, able to shield his body from McCauley. Keep it away from any more danger. Chance here for Charlotte! And smothered on the near post by Hara. In transition is Alvarez. Alvarez able to step over the leg. Hackenberg winning the ball back. No, we will have a foul, and this will be our first booking of the game. Heckenberg handed the yellow. That Greenville game still scoreless. Johnson plays it in. Headed up and on top of the cage. Coutinho out wide. Coutinho able to win the ball back there from Alvarez. And there is the final whistle, and for the defending champs, their season comes to a close.
So South Georgia Tormenta only gets the 1 point. Did not matter what would happen at Breeze Stevens, as Forward Madison would host Union Omaha. Union Omaha would get the win. Forward Madison would stay where they are. South Georgia would be 1 point from getting in to the playoffs in 2023. Paladin Stadium, Greenville and Lex SC, it was a 1-1 draw with those two. At Wake Med, North Carolina FC gets the 2-1 win over 1 Knox. And at Future Legends, your late game, Northern Colorado Hailstorm, 3-1 winners over Chattanooga Red Wolves, as Northern Colorado was trying to chase their way up the top of the table, get as much of a home advantage as humanly possible. So that sets up the standings after the regular season. 32 matches played. Union Omaha the 1, North Carolina FC the 2, Northern Colorado the 3, winning their last 3 in a row. Charlotte Independence your 4. Greenville is your 5. Forward Madison is your 6 at 43 points. South Georgia at 42. 1 Knox in their first season and finishes at 38 points. Lex SC 32 points with a record of 7-14-11. Red Wolves at 31 points after a coaching change. Richmond had a horrendous back half of the season, finishing at 6-15-11. 29 points, losing 4 of their last 5 in Central Valley, finishing their season with a win, 23 points, 6 wins in 32 matches. So Union Omaha, North Carolina, they will end up with byes in the first round. They'll get to watch everybody else. Forward Madison goes to Future Legends to take on Northern Colorado. Greenville and Charlotte taking on each other in round 1 as the 4 and the 5. USL League One Team of the Week for Week 31, brought to us by our friends at Konami eFootball. Sheriff DA for Central Valley ends up as your player of the week. Week 31 of the regular season, and it was his second brace in his career after missing more than half of the season to begin this season. Made most of his time on the pitch in 23. First brace since September of 2022 with a pair of goals. The brace, the first of the season for Fuego, helped them in the 5-4 win. 10 of the 12 teams represented in the final team of the week for the year. In net, Austin Causey from Lex SC. Backline, Gustavo Fernandez from North Carolina. Davey Mason from Tormenta. Arthur Rogers from Hailstorm. DA from Central Valley in the midfield, along with Noah Pilato from Greenville. Bruno Rendon from Hailstorm. Neil Vinyals from Richmond Kickers. 3 up top, Trevor Ammon from Hailstorm. Alexis Cerritos from Central Valley. Garrett McLaughlin from North Carolina FC. Your bench, Sean Lewis from One Knox, Chandler O'Dwyer from Richmond, Jonathan Felipe from Chattanooga, Jackson Corey from Tormenta. Lagos Kunga makes the bench for Team of the Week for Union Omaha, Leo Castro for Greenville, and Steven Dos Santos for Union Omaha. That's your Team of the Week, brought to us by our friends at Konami eFootball. Fans' choice for Goal of the Week until for Week 31. You have until Thursday at 12:30 to vote across all of the USL platforms and the USL app. DA for Central Valley against Richmond. Gustavo Fernandez, North Carolina, against One Knox. Steven Dos Santos for Union Omaha against Forward Madison for the 1 goal in that match. Irvin Parra for Hailstorm against Chattanooga. Highest scoring season in league history with his first goal of the year after returning from cancer treatments earlier in the season. So welcome back, Irvin Parra. Very, very cool. And you have once again until Thursday to make your voice heard across all of the USL platforms attached to your idea for Goal of the Week for Week 30. Trevor Ammon, we mentioned that he claims the League One Golden Boot after a record-breaking season, 23 goals, 5 more than the previous single-season record of Terzaghi back in 21 in Richmond. He scored or assisted 7 match-winning goals, second most goals scored in league history with 59. So Trevor Ammon gets your Golden Boot presented by Puma. The Golden Glove presented by Select goes to Sean Lewis of One Knox with the lowest goals against average in the league at 1.04. Third most saves, fourth most clean sheets at 8 in 23. 39 goals conceded in their inaugural League One season, tied for second fewest. Arthur Rogers from Hailstorm, Golden Playmaker in USL League One, 9 assists. Last season, had 11 this year. And Jonathan Bolaños, he claimed Golden Playmaker, matched Jonathan Bolaños' league record set a season ago. Now he's the all-time league leader in assists in league history with 20. So very, very cool there. Golden Playmaker Arthur Rogers from Hailstorm, Golden Glove Sean Lewis from One Knox, and your Golden Boot Trevor Ammon from Northern Colorado, Hailstorm. Eamon Zayed was named League One Coach of the Month for September as he and everyone goes screaming now into the postseason. And your playoff brackets, once again, they have been set in League One. But remember, you will get reseeding when it comes to these matchups. Quarterfinals, Friday, it's the 4 and the 5 at 7:30 at American Legion Memorial. Saturday, it is Hailstorm hosting Forward Madison at 9 o'clock at Future Legends in Windsor, Colorado. So you end up with those 2 matchups as the 1 and the 2 just kind of cruising along right now. They're not they're just kind of keeping an eye on what's going to happen in round number 1 in the USL League One playoffs. Your semifinals back-to-back on Saturday the 28th, 5:30 and 7:30. Your lower remaining seed, once again, leagues reseed. Lower remaining seed goes to Omaha. Highest remaining seed goes to North Carolina to play at Wake-Med, 5:30 and 7:30. Your League One final Sunday, November 5th at 8:30 Eastern Time on ESPN2 and Sirius XM FC. If you are in market and can catch matchups in either at Future Legends or in Charlotte for your 3, 6, and your 4, 5, please do. Great soccer all season long, and the playoffs will be no different as they get ready to figure out who's going to take on Union Omaha and who's going to take on North Carolina FC. Once again, the final on ESPN2 as the month turns into November. That's your rundown of everything going on in USL League One. If you're in market, once again, if you can make it, make it. See some of the quality postseason action that you're going to see here in the United States. If you can't follow along on local providers, and if you can't follow along on your local provider, tune in to ESPN Plus for all the information and all the matches that you need when it comes to USL League One. So for everybody here at SDH, I'm just John. That's your breakdown of everything going on as we head into the postseason for USL League One.
There can be only one.